He was booed in arenas, doubted by fans, and blindsided by a life-threatening cancer diagnosis. Roman Reigns wasn't the hero anyone asked for, but he became the one they couldn't ignore. His rise wasn't built on hype, but on heartbreak, grit, and a comeback that silenced the world. Behind the muscles and the title belts is a man who lost it all twice and still came back to rule the ring like a king. This is the story they never told you until now. Roman Reigns didn't walk into wrestling with fanfare, he walked into resistance. Born Lady Joseph Anoa'i, he came from one of the most legendary wrestling bloodlines in history, the Anoa'i family, home to icons like The Rock, Yokozuna, and Rikishi. Expectations were sky-high, and for years, that legacy weighed heavy on his shoulders. He was billed as WWE's next golden boy, the chosen one, the future. But when the cheers didn't come, and the boos did, everything changed. He debuted with the Shield in 2012, alongside Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, and immediately made an impact. He was strong, silent, explosive, exactly what Vince McMahon envisioned as the next face of the company. But once he went solo, the WWE Universe pushed back. The crowd turned on him. Every time he stepped in the ring, the boos echoed louder. They didn't want a corporate-made champion. They wanted authenticity. And to them, Roman didn't feel real. What fans didn't see was the man behind the character, the athlete who had already fought to reinvent himself. Before wrestling, Roman pursued an NFL dream, only to have it crushed after brief stints with the Minnesota Vikings and Jacksonville Jaguars. Rejection forced him to pivot, and wrestling became his second chance. But now, even that seemed to be slipping away as fans rejected him despite his talent and commitment. Then, in October 2018, Roman Reigns did something no one saw coming. He stepped into the ring. Not as the character, not as the powerhouse, but as Joe Anoa'i. He announced that he had leukemia. Again. For the second time. Suddenly, the boos stopped. The crowd fell silent. The same man they had jeered for years stood there vulnerable, honest, and human. The mask dropped, and people finally saw the heart behind the Superman punch. He relinquished his title and stepped away from wrestling. For months, fans and friends held their breath. Would he return? Could he return? And if he did, would he ever be the same? In February 2019, he came back. Not just healed, but transformed. Roman's real-life battle made him more than a character. It made him a symbol. The crowd that once turned their backs on him now stood behind him. But Roman wasn't content just to be cheered. He wanted control of his story. That's when he did the unthinkable. In 2020, amid the chaos of the pandemic and WWE's empty arenas, Roman returned. Not as a face, but as a heel. He embraced the darkness and became the tribal chief, a calculating, dominant leader who demanded respect. And it worked. The character was sharp, real, and rooted in his own personal journey of fighting for recognition and surviving the odds. For the first time, the fans weren't just watching Roman Reigns. They were believing him. As the head of the table, Roman Reigns elevated not just himself, but everyone around him. His matches became stories. His promos, psychological battles. He wasn't just performing, he was commanding. What once felt forced now felt undeniable. He held the Universal Championship for over 1,000 days, breaking records and redefining dominance in the modern era of WWE. But behind the scenes, Roman still carried the weight of his past battles, both in the ring and with cancer. He's spoken about how leukemia changed his perspective, how it humbled him, grounded him, and reminded him that life doesn't hand out second chances. You have to fight for them. And he did. Today, Roman Reigns stands as one of the greatest modern wrestlers of all time, not because he was handed anything, but because he was rejected, broken, and rebuilt himself anyway. He's not just a champion. He's proof that even in an industry built on fiction, real strength always shines through. His journey wasn't a straight line, it was a war zone. From football failures and fan rejection to a life-threatening illness and a total career reinvention, Roman Reigns rose when the world expected him to fall. He was booed. He battled cancer. And then he came back, not just stronger, but untouchable. That's not just a comeback. That's what kings are made of.